Hi everyone, let's talk about Age of Galaxy, which I just finished doing a full playthrough for of the solo variant of it. And this is just if you'd like to know what I think about it. All of the game, you can see it here, but all of the gameplay and stuff is in the other video. It's linked in the description if you haven't seen it yet. And if you would like to see all of the final stuff, this is prototype materials and how you can help Age of Galaxy become a thing. It's linked in the description of the Kickstarter campaign, because that is live now, or very, very soon, depending on when this goes up. Sometime in the future, I'll be right though, won't I? So, it's a 4X game, which is quite unusual for me to cover. I don't really like, I've said a million times, I think, that Rach and I don't really like anything where we are fighting each other, but in solo, I don't mind taking it out on an AI. And admittedly, the 4X stuff in taking over people's things in this is quite mild in the scheme of things. You know, it comes down to that war phase. There are rewards for being an overlord, and in games with more players, you know, that there are different kinds of rewards for that. It's just the first place in the two-player game. But yeah, it comes down to wanting to be the best, have the most battleships and then the most shields if that's tied, if you want the points for that, and to be able to take over a planet. There might be situations where, as in the playthrough, I didn't want to take over the planet. It wouldn't really get me anything. It's a benefit for taking away points, because you get a point for every colonized planet, 2 points for every developed planet by the end of the game. If they are unprotected, you know, that's points that are being taken away from you. And if you have ideology with the red faction, you'll get points for every one of your battleships that's out on the galaxy board there. So it's not like it's particularly valuable for you to do that all of the time, especially when taking over that planet has taken one of your ships away from you, which might leave you vulnerable in a future round. So there is a balance of that, but still, yeah, in a competitive environment, it wouldn't be our kind of style. But in the solo variant, it's very much a game of not particularly playing against the AI opponent turn to turn. He's getting in your way. He's taking opportunities away from you. He's getting in the way. He's taking planets from you if you let him. And you don't have forewarning of what he might do. You know the options. You know the planets that he might take. You know the bonuses that he gets from each of those symbols. That's available to you. But what's actually going to come out there is this great big deck that I showed in the playthrough of cards that just didn't come out in the game. All with, you know, for the AI, all they care about is the planet they're going to take control of and the action that they get. Hi, Marty. Please don't go in the window and knock the camera off. I do apologise. Best to remove him from the window for now. So yeah, you've got this huge deck of massive varied things that will do, you know, a set amount of things for the AI. But in terms of you only get 7 cards per game, and in the multiplayer game, that is, you know, for your first few games, it recommends draw a few, keep some, draw a few more. But then the main way of playing is to draft the cards that you're going to keep. So you are building up a picture of what you might want to go for in the game, while, you know, you don't particularly know what your opponent's going to go for, but not giving them, you know, all of the fantastic war cards, for example. You know that if you are going for a developed strategy, then giving them all of that is going to take those planets away from you eventually. So tons and tons of varied things, either loads of stuff given to you when you get the faction out or in the production phase, or once you have researched their special technology, as I did, that gave me big benefits for exploring. There is the really nice system of the ideologies as well as the resources you want the people for, the special abilities and maybe technologies you want them for. There's also your end game scoring, which, you know, if you play just a load of varied factions there, you're not going to get any ideology scoring at the end of the game, which might be, you know, for my playthrough, it's the main way that I scored points in that. So it's not something that you want to completely ignore in that way. You can give up one of your cards as like a major ideology, and so if I just had these 3 different ones there, I could play a completely different one just underneath, and that's an ideology there, but that's a card I haven't played. You can still play the cards for their special little one-off bonus at the bottom once per turn when you are in a fix. So it's always something that you are giving up from this very limited pool of cards and abilities, but as I said, from quite a varied deck of them. The galaxy board's going to be different, which planets are most prevalent, how many anomalies are out there is going to be different, and the order of them as well. You can look ahead if you've got that warp drive technology. Your tech tree is going to make a big difference as well. Whether you could just go completely peaceful and just hope that your planets are protected. You can get planetary shields eventually. It's going to take you a while to get up there and have enough money or discoveries to be able to get to those top technologies, because you can't just buy your way into those. You have to have a discovery from something. But yeah, once you've got up there, you can protect your developed planets at least. But developing a load of planets is really expensive. It's 7 a time unless you've got some way from a faction of discounting that. So you've got to work out where your priorities lie, which planets you want to keep the most, whether you've got production ability that favors a particular planet. Maybe you're going to get points or some other bonus from being in charge of particular planets. It's all going to make a massive difference in that. And the solo, I think the AI could afford to be a little bit more aggressive. It's all a work in progress. It's all prototype at the moment, and the solo rules especially have just come in. But yeah, I like the style of, as much as I love the AI opponents where they've got all of the flowcharts and stuff. It is very nice to just have a simple system where just do your thing, and then the AI is going to crash in at the end of every round and get in the way and take things away from you or take opportunities away from you, say in the Galactic Congress. But yeah, even though he does get a lot of nice bonuses based on the cards that he draws, I think that he could afford to get a little bit more in your way, maybe fill up some of the trade cards and things like that. But that might still happen. You can see on the campaign page what the final stuff is going to have. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's a quite a different, snappy for solo anyway. I think it's like 45 minutes for, say, a 4-player game. But solo anyway, it's really snappy. You just have to figure out your 3 actions. You've got a lot of options for them, but you start to focus in once you get your allies out there, and the AI turns are very snappy as well, so it turns into a really nice quick experience. And it's nice to see how much is crammed into just a tiny little box there. I'm looking at the wrong viewfinder. I have to make sure there's no point showing it you like that. You can see it on the screen anyway, though, can't you? There you go, that's what it looks like. But anyway, the playthrough is the main thing that will hopefully give you the best idea of what Age of Galaxy is like. Thank you very much for watching this, and I'll see you hopefully for the next game. Bye everyone.